Simon, it's time to wake up. I'm your alarm clock. Do you hear me? It's Chuck here. I know you like waking up to me. It's time to get up.
Well, you know my name is Simon, and the things I draw come true. Oh, pictures take me over, climb the ladder with you. Well, you know my name is Simon, and the things I draw come true. Oh, pictures take me over.
So, as far as I know, there's only two people on planet Earth that are going to get that joke, but I apologize to the rest of you. It's going to be really funny for those two people. Anyway, we have 24 listings today, and we're going to talk about them right now. So first one up is 6020 Dairy. There's another unit in this list in this complex. So this one doesn't have a unit number, so not really sure how someone's going to find it. Anyway, the description talks about two of the rarest upgrades are found in this home and a huge benefit, but I don't know what they are. It doesn't say what the benefits are. Also, you have, this is officially a thing, and if you look at these doors here, you've got open, close, open, close. That's like the fourth time in a week I've seen that. If you know what these benefits are, please tell me. I can't figure them out. So you can see offers welcome any time down in the first line of Gifford. Now these 3 stars on either side, you got to be careful how you do that, because I think there's a fine line with, shouting from the rooftops versus just saying, look, we'll take offers anytime. I think the positioning from a selling standpoint is a little bit more of eliminating those asterisks, just like, hey, we'll take offers, Anyway, it's 1130 square feet. It's actually the same model as the one backing onto Park Space on, I think it's short read, just above the list here. So yeah, 771 short read. So this one on Gifford, 1130 square feet, no finished basement. Neither one has a finished basement, but this is 25,000 more. The finishes are better, but it's also staged too. So like when everything's said and done, strip away all the extras and then see really what the price difference is. The green space on the other one is probably worth about $10,000, and you get too far in the sixes these days with townhouses. We just saw this on Higginbotham, is that you start to get a lot of resistance. So that is different than 60 days ago when pretty much all this stuff was selling for high sixes or low sevens. Now, I used to live on Evans Terrace, and so this one's just over 1,500 square feet. I remember when they put this deck outside, and it was just kind of awkward to me. It's like, I don't know, you think of living space, like it's different if you have a covered porch, but this was just kind of a big deck in the front of the house. Usually a deck would go in the back of the house. That would be your preferred. And it's kind of right on the T-stop too, so it's like pretty much right when you drive in, you see it. Anyway, I guess it's shaded now. It's okay, right? The photos are, let's call them VGA resolution instead of HD. There's a simple solution on how to fix that, but they've got one here that's, if you're going to have a high definition photo, why not let it be the powder room or the sink in the master ensuite, and upstairs laundry. Downstairs you have what looks like Glad garbage bags on your ceiling. I have no idea what that is, but whatever it is, it's kind of blocking the windows. It almost looks like a gigantic waterbed attached to the ceiling. And then you've got a yard. Now, I'm joking around here on this one, but these yards are actually 30 feet wide in this area. And this is one of the first phases Mattamy built. You also need to be careful with age. You need to watch your roof, your windows, your furnace to make sure they're still functioning well. But these lots, they're putting detached homes on 30-foot lots. These used to be the normal semi-sized properties. So your backyards probably get 2 to 4 feet wider than a lot of the newer stuff. Doesn't sound like much, but you can tell. If you go see something like this and then go see something built in the last year or two, there's a difference. So the thing about tight court, so it's a townhouse. It says it's over approximately 2,000 square feet, 3-story. So probably, what do you have? You have a double car garage in the back. $659 is a good price for this one. Very high contrast photos, which makes it hard to really figure out. I find if it's too harsh, it's very difficult, especially with this color scheme. But it looks like it's been well kept. The iron pickets is nice. A lot of times what we see here is a big drywall wall. So having it open there just allows more light to bathe through the space. And, you know, it looks pretty good to me. I think the price is there. You have to have this shot to just show what's going on in the back. But this is one of the least expensive ways to get a double car garage. Now that's a laminate floor too. That's not a hardwood. I think when they did all these other finishes, I mean, again, it's hard to see with the way the photos are composed, but I think there's an expectation at a certain point when the rest of the home is good that you don't do a laminate, you do a hardwood, but also recognizing there's some pretty good laminate out there. So without seeing it in person, I don't want to get too much into the analysis, but the advice would be for anybody who's considering upgrading, improving, or selling their home that laminate is considered something that's a little bit more kind of like entry point, and you really can't go wrong with a good hardwood long term or even for selling. It makes a lot of sense. Now I think this one on Meighan Way is a super strong deal. It's a 3-bedroom. This layout also comes in a 4-bedroom. I think it's around 1,700 square feet. Plus you got a big pie-shaped lot, which is nice. The finishes look good. So you've got a separate dining in the front of the house, and then you've got your family room overlooking the kitchen. I don't like how the fridge is kind of tucked away in the corner here, but this home, there's versions of it that don't have this center island too. So I like how they do have the center island. To me, it just makes a lot more sense. You're probably not big enough to do an eat-in table, so that's one slight concern. You could take the island out of here and do a table, or you can just have all of your meals in the dining room and just make it like a super high functioning table, not as formal, something you can use every day. And then you've got your it says 3+1, so the 4th bedroom is down there in the finished basement too. So that size lot, detached home, decent size, not massive, but it's got it where it counts. And that finished basement all together for less than $7 to me makes a lot of sense. So the other thing about that one is they're taking offers anytime. So Childress Heights is, now I'll be honest with you, I have no idea where Childress Heights is. I know roughly where it is. It's kind of down between Louis and Britannia, around Bronte. It's in the new subdivision, but I mean, I would need a map at this point. Some of the new streets, sometimes we just say, well, I don't know where it is, and we got to go find them. So for just over 2,000 square feet, the finishes look okay. We just saw a 2051 square foot home with good finishes, right? Maybe not as kind of modern as this, but still like a good solid home. We just saw that one sell for $835. So at $968, with essentially a staged kitchen table and some other real kind of minor stuff, they're going to have a tough time at this price. Big time. Now, Forbes, I think within a day or two, if you remember, $999 was the price that they had this. They were holding back. So now I believe they're at 1.1 and they're taking offers anytime. So that early in the process to kind of flick the switch is probably a little bit confusing. I know that they're probably looking at the one that we have on Gosford and saying, well, we compete with that one. And they do. Again, you've got green space behind. Gosford has a pond. but they're around the same size. They both have finished basements. They both have really good quality stuff. Now, the other thing that they did, which is kind of subtle, is in the broker comments, they put a thing saying the owner would close in. So this one's essentially a 3-bedroom plus a loft upstairs, and the owner would be prepared to close it in as a 4-bedroom, but they've now marketed it as a 4-bedroom. Now, the other advantage I see with Gosford, and I'll put a link down below, is that you have 4 bedrooms upstairs, plus you have a little loft. And so we're already dealing with a finished 4-bedroom versus having to convert this one. But again, not to take anything away from this, it's interesting because there's one on Wetlaw for at $988 that had offers last night, and I talked to the agent about it. It's still for sale, and there's some stuff in the 9s that's okay, right? That one's actually really nice. And then there's really not a lot in the $1 million to $1.1 million. And so for that reason, I think this one still has, it's still competitive. Completely different game being above $1 million versus below $1 million. But I guess there was some good reason they had to stick it up here. Alrighty, so that's the list. So shout out to Julie and Simon. They're my two, friends and longtime followers of the show. And that's what we did at the beginning of the episode. So have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow with a super Friday episode. Until then, have fun.